Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are on the hour here, so we're going to go ahead and get started on this national call to all of our Slow Food Nations delegates. So thank you for joining us. Here is the call agenda. We're going to go through some quick housekeeping, provide some exciting updates about Slow Food Nations, and then you are all on this call because you are going to be delegates, so we're going to provide plenty of details around the delegate experience, the inside scoop, and then also the delegate schedule. I'm recording this call, so it will be available on the Slow Food Nations Inside Scoop webpage. So not to worry if you know people who wanted to be on this call and couldn't, or you want to watch it again later, that will be available. We are using GoToMeeting for this webinar, and we are going to be muting participants just to keep background noise down, just to make sure everyone can hear the presentation. So whether you are calling in from a phone or using your computer, we just encourage you to please mute yourself, and we'll also be muting participants. If you would like to make a comment or ask a question, please use the chat function in the GoToMeeting control panel. And like I said before, you can access the recording of this call on the Slow Food Delegate webpage, slowfoodnations.org/delegates/inside scoop. And we'll talk more about that webpage in a little bit. So we have Krista Roberts, who is the event director for Slow Food Nations, who is going to be giving us some updates on Slow Food Nations in general. Krista, you are on.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to have a chance to provide some updates to our Slow Food Nations delegates today. We had such an overwhelming response that the Delegate Summit registration is now closed with nearly 500 delegates. We're just thrilled to have such a response and attendance. Delegates have an important voice in our Slow Food Network and will at Slow Food Nations as well. And whether you are presenting, volunteering, or attending, you are an ambassador for Slow Food. So thank you for your support and for all that you're doing to make Slow Food Nations a success, and hopefully an inspiring 3 days for all of you. I thought I would start out just to share a little bit about some of the updates about the overall event. Please be sure to stay tuned on the website at slowfoodnations.org. The link is in this presentation and will be sent out to you. We're going to have another big launch for our second wave of ticketing later this month. And you will also see a lot more information about the different locations and the free experiences, both scheduled and open, that will happen throughout the weekend. I would also encourage you to stay tuned and watch Slow Food USA social media for updates and promotions that are going to be happening regularly over the next few months. And I just thought I would include a couple of highlights of things that you're going to see soon. One is a Love the Earth, Defend the Future opening talk that will happen on Saturday morning outside on the demonstration stage. It will be a free and open event, and it will be an inspiring talk about how the food movement can have an impact. We just learned that Carlo Petrini will indeed be coming to Slow Food Nations. So you're the first to hear that news. That hasn't been publicly announced yet. And he'll be part of this talk along with Alice Waters, Ron Finley, Michelle Nishan, and musician Jack Johnson. It'll be a really fun way to kick off the opening morning on Saturday for the public-facing part of the festival. Also soon to be on the ticketing page is a history of barbecue dinner. We are really lucky to have renowned pitmaster Howard Conyers, who will be coming to Slow Food Nations and will host a dinner that will highlight the tradition of South Carolina whole hog barbecue. And another highlight is one of the roundtable discussions that will be going up on the website soon. We'll have a series of roundtables that will be hosted throughout the weekend. And an example is one that will be called In Praise of Ancient Grains. It will be hosted by Bon Appetit contributing editor Christine Mulkey, and will feature Glenn Roberts of Anson Mills, Chad Robertson of Tartine Bakery, Steve Jones of the Bread Lab, and Chef Chris Bianco. It should be a really engaging talk. And the whole setup of these roundtable talks will be a fairly small audience of 50 people or less that will allow those who attend to have a really engaging conversation with the presenters. Okay, so again, keep watching the website for highlights, but I thought I'd share a few that have gotten me excited recently. What I did want to now share a little bit more about are some of the delegate details that specifically apply to everyone who is a registered and paid delegate. So as I mentioned, registration for the Delegate Summit is now closed. This is the summit that will take place on Friday, July 14th at the McNichols Building in Denver's Civic Center Park. And I do want to reiterate that if you know someone who is not registered to be a delegate, by no means does that mean that they cannot participate in Slow Food Nations. There's much more to the weekend. It is simply the Delegate Summit that is at capacity. So everyone who received the delegate registration link and has paid their registration have a guaranteed delegate confirmation. And as I mentioned, you don't need to be a delegate to participate in Slow Food Nations, and we are excited to welcome many more than those who are registered throughout the weekend. In addition, all registered and paid delegates should have received a link for the Inside Scoop. It's a page on the website that delegates have access to that provides links to discounted hotels. We'll have the delegate directory for getting in touch with others, and also how to receive festival discounts. The FAQs are there for what you need to know. And then you can also look out for more details about the breakout sessions that will be offered at the Delegate Summit, and those should be on the site later this month. What we want to take you through is an overview of, as a delegate, what you can expect for the days that you are here, starting with the delegate reception on Thursday through the festival ending on Sunday. And I'm going to turn it over to Lauren Howe to walk you through some of those details. She and Leah Mann, who I'm sure you've seen or heard both of those names, have been working tirelessly to organize all of these details.
Thanks, Krista. Great. Hello again, everyone. So I'm going to walk you through the delegate experience starting when hopefully you arrive on Thursday. So thanks to our partners, Visit Denver, the local tourism board, and Eat Denver, which is our independent restaurant association, the first 250 registered delegates will receive an invitation to a Thursday evening welcome reception that'll happen from 4:30 to 6:30. And then we'll start the evening with light appetizers and drinks. There'll be some welcoming remarks and a chance to connect with your fellow delegates before the Friday summit, followed by an evening at the Big Eat. So the Big Eat is hosted by Eat Denver, which is our independently owned restaurant community, and it's a grand tasting event, and many of these restaurants will also be participating in Slow Food Nation. So that'll be a nice introduction to tasting the city of Denver and getting to meet some of the chefs and producers that'll participate in other parts of the event. A special invitation link will be sent later this month for the reception, and you'll be able to respond to that with your RSVP confirming your slot. Once you confirm that invitation, you'll then receive a ticket to the welcome reception and Big Eat via email. Upon arrival to the actual evening, you will get a wristband, which will allow you entry to the welcome reception area as well as the Big Eat. And both of these events are being hosted in the Denver Center for the Performing Arts Complex, which is just a short walk from Larimer Square and downtown Denver. So that is what Thursday is going to look like. So I assume many of you will hopefully try to arrive in time for that. And there are plenty of things to do in Denver and in Colorado if you even wanted to arrive a day or two before Thursday. So hopefully you'll get Also some rest on Thursday evening because Friday, which is the actual full day delegate summit, is going to kick off bright and early at 7:30 in the morning, where we'll have breakfast, and then it will go all the way until 5 p.m. in the evening. We are excited to highlight keynote speakers here. So we've confirmed that Ricardo Salvador will be speaking in the morning. Ricardo is the Senior Scientist and Director of the Food and Environment Program for the Union of Concerned Scientists. And then, as Krista already mentioned, Carlo Petrini, the founder and president of Slow Food International, will be coming all the way from Italy to speak with us in the afternoon. And we're just super excited and thrilled that both Carlo and Ricardo will be able to join us. We are featuring Alice Waters, the famous chef, author, food activist, and founder owner of Chez Panisse Restaurant in Berkeley, California. Alice has been a champion of local sustainable agriculture for over 4 decades and is also the vice president of Slow Food International. So she will be with us on Friday presenting her concept, Lunch as an Academic Subject. So she's pulling together a team of cooks to present this concept and teaching a lesson as part of lunch around traditional Mexican Zapotec farming, with the menu highlighting the Three Sisters, corn, beans, and squash using local Colorado ingredients. Alice is excited to demonstrate that you can feed hundreds of people in a short time period without an assembly cafeteria line. So we're excited to be able to offer Alice a platform to share her vision with all of the delegates. In the morning and in the afternoon, there will be one breakout session each, 75 minutes long, and you will have roughly 8 breakout sessions to choose from during each morning and afternoon slot. So I'm just going to highlight a few here. We have food justice, thanks to the Food Justice Working Group, a group of about a dozen folks who have been working very hard to make sure that food and social justice are represented in this event. They're putting together a workshop on aligning the good food and food justice movements. We will be joined by the James Beard Foundation, who is planning to do a 2-session chef leadership boot camp around policy in restaurants. There'll be a couple sessions related to slow meat, including one on food labeling and transparency with the American Grass-Fed Association. We'll have 2 sessions on slow fish, including Slow Fish 101, so the basics, as well as a vanishing food waste session on the Louisiana-Vietnam story. You'll get to choose from 3 sessions on policy and social change, including 2 hands-on trainings, as well as a discussion around federal farm and food policy and what you all can do about it. We'll be highlighting biodiversity during the Delegate Summit, including a session from Slow Food Mexico called the Eco Gastronomy of Mexico, and that will take place in Spanish, as well as the Cuban delegation is going to be presenting a session called the Agroecology Revolution, Food Projects in Cuba. We'll have school gardens well represented, where the Edible Schoolyard and the Whole Kids Foundation will be in a session with our own Slow Food's own Andy Nowak to talk about the future of school gardens and edible education. And then we'll also have a couple sessions that are more network focused, highlighting the chapter manifesto project from Slow Food Vermont, as well as a really fun Pecha Kucha style session where different chapter leaders will be showcasing some of the events and programming they do at the local level. Keep an eye out in the next couple of weeks. We are wanting to know your interest in which sessions you're interested in attending, so we can assign rooms appropriately, coordinating size with interest. So keep an eye out for a Delegate Summit session survey that we will send in the next few weeks. Following the bulk of the day with the breakout sessions and the keynote speakers, there'll be a couple of different Friday evening optional opportunities here. So at the end of the day, you'll have the chance to decide between joining a school garden planting activity on Larimer Square with Andy Nowak, If you are interested in following and voting on the national statute, the Slow Food National Congress will be convening for an hour at the end of the day, during which you can voice your opinion and vote on the statute. And then also, we're very excited because the Colorado Made Block Party is the first sort of big tent, 500-person event that's happening on Friday night after the Delegate Summit. And if you're interested in attending this big party to celebrate Colorado farmers and ranchers, producers, and chefs, you can buy a ticket on our website. And we're very excited to and thankful for the Colorado Tourism Office for helping us to welcome all of our delegates and members of the public to Slow Food Nations through that block party. So that is a snapshot of what's happening for programming during the actual Delegate Summit. And then that, it's hard to believe, is only the first day of a 3-day-long weekend full of events. So I'm just going to briefly go through planning the rest of your weekend. So as delegates who have paid, you are going to receive 2 free tickets to events throughout the weekend as a benefit of your delegate package. Soon we'll be sending out a Google form where you can indicate which tickets or events you would like to select, and then we will send you a ticket confirmation via email. As a delegate, you will get the choice between it will include 1 free block party ticket, and then you can choose either 1 culinary workshop or 1 roundtable discussion. And we'll make sure you have that list so you know what you're choosing from. We really encourage you to use the website to plan your weekend. There are going to be lots of activities, dinners, tours, talks, free events happening simultaneously. So we really encourage you to use the website ahead of time to make sure you have a game plan for when you arrive to Denver to make the most out of the Slow Food Nations Festival weekend. On the events page of our website, that is where you can see both ticketed and free events, both that can be reserved. There will be other scheduled free events that are not reserved, including programming on the outdoor culinary demonstration stage. There will be author talks and book signings. There will be the Arc of Taste demonstration area in Union Station, where it'll be a rotating pop-up of different Arc of Taste producers showcasing their product. So definitely use the website to your full advantage to get the most out of the weekend. Again, we are thrilled and excited that the Delegate Summit is full with 500 delegates having registered, though we want to really re-emphasize that anyone can attend Slow Food Nations regardless of their delegate status. Members of the public, people can travel from near or far, and having the Delegate Summit at capacity does not mean the rest of the event is at capacity. We still have many tickets available and lots of free events that are open to the public that you all can enjoy as well. So just wanted to re-emphasize that. Krista, is there anything else you want to add before I open it up to questions?
No, I don't think so. I think I'd love to just leave some time open for questions. I see a number of them coming through. And while we've answered a few, I think we'll go ahead and make sure everyone's heard the answers to all of those. So I think the last thing I would say is I'm really excited to see all of you in Denver in July. And once again, thank you for all of your support and all that you do.
Thanks, Krista. So again, if you have a question, please use the chat function in the GoToMeeting control panel, and we will go through those. And I know that I'm grateful to my colleague Leah, who's been answering some of the questions throughout this call, but I'm going to go ahead and reiterate those questions and answers just so folks who are dialing in from the phone can see those as well. We had a question come in. What time are the opening remarks on Saturday? And that is 10 a.m. I'm not sure, Lisa, Frank, if you were referring to the opening remarks, like the big talk with Alice and Carlo, or if you meant to ask about the opening remarks on the Friday Delegate Summit. So if you want to clarify that, I'll keep a lookout for your question.
And Lauren, this is Krista. Lisa, just to clarify, and to all, that talk, the Love the Earth, Defend the Future talk, will be listed on the schedule for the outdoor demonstration stage. So that is something that you can look for to be posted on the website toward the end of the month to see all of them, the different things that will happen on that stage, the culinary demonstrations throughout the weekend as well. Yeah, Lisa, thank you. Remarks with Petrini. That's the Love the Earth, Defend the Future talk, and it is at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning on Larimer Square at the outdoor demonstration stage.
Great, thanks, Krista. Rich wants to know, I received error messages when I tried to use the links from the email I received. Is the website link different? Maybe Leah, I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself and answer that question for Rich.
Hi, this is Leah. I sent that out directly to all the registered delegates that have paid, but like Krista said in the beginning, we'll be sending another email out after this to all registered and paid delegates that will have that link and the password for everybody to take a look at. I don't know, Lauren, if you want me to answer some of these questions that are coming in, or if you...
I'll keep going through the list, Leah, and I'll call you out when it'd be great for you to answer. Thank you.
Sure.
Leah's last response addresses Charity's question, when did the Inside Scoop email go out, and what if we did not receive it yet? The Inside Scoop email has not gone out yet, and we will be sending it out as follow-up to this call again. It sounds like we've sent it out to a few people, but we'll be sending it out again as a follow-up to this call with the information for the password so you can access it. So not to worry. That addresses Peter's question as well. We unfortunately cannot announce the password to the Inside Scoop page on this call because we need to verify who is paid and then send the link to the people who have paid. Let's see. Which email address did the delegate link and information come from? I think that's a Leah question. It looks like it came from SFN Delegates. So that email address is sfndelegates@slowfoodusa.org. So if you want to go back in your inbox or even maybe check your spam folder, please look there. Gwen wants to know, how do you know if you are one of the first 250 people to register? Krista,
Hi, Gwen. Thanks for that question. You will receive an invitation by the end of the month for specifically for the reception and the Big Eat to confirm your attendance. The first 250 will.
Thanks, Krista. Is there the possibility for spouses/partners to participate with us at the delegate reception and the Big Eat?
Great question. There's not additional capacity at the reception, but the Big Eat is also a public event, and there are tickets available for sale. And we will get that link from our partners at Eat Denver and share it.
Thanks, Krista. Katie wants to know, where are the Friday sessions going to be? Union Station, Larimer Square, question mark. Thanks, Katie, for asking that. I neglected to say this, but it's very important and exciting. We have secured a location for the Friday Delegate Summit called the McNichols Building. It is a gorgeous, newly remodeled civic building right near the Colorado State Capitol, just a very short walk from downtown near Larimer Square. You can also take the 16th Street Mall free shuttle from Union Station almost all the way to the McNichols Building. So it's very accessible, great location. It's a gorgeous building, and we're really excited to host the 500 delegates for the summit at that location. So thank you for asking that. Let's see, the next question here. Let's see. Daisy from the Christensen Fund. Since there are 8 breakout sessions, how many breakout sessions are delegates able to attend, and are they able to attend more than one? Great question, Daisy. Let me try to explain this a little better. So there's going to be a breakout session in the morning and then one in the afternoon. Each session is 75 minutes long, and during both sessions, there'll be roughly eight different breakouts happening simultaneously. So you will get to choose one session in the morning and one session from the afternoon. So you'll get to see 2 overall, but the whole list will be probably around 16. So there may be some hard decisions to make, but hopefully there's something in it that interests everyone. Will there be a separate list of the Indigenous/Turtle Island presentations throughout the weekend? Krista, I'm not sure if you want to answer that one.
Yeah, that's a great question. If you currently look at the website, there are different ways to filter your views of the ticketed and scheduled events that are there. And there's currently not one specifically focused on Indigenous/Turtle Island, but I love this input, and I think we're going to go back to the team and see how we can easily allow people to look at it through that filter.
Great, thank you. Let's see, Gwen, when will we receive the Google form to sign up for our free tickets? I would like to sign up for other events before they sell out.
Thanks, Gwen. The Google form to sign up for free tickets will be out by the end of the month, which is in alignment with our kind of second wave of ticketing launch. So it should give everyone plenty of time to plan out their whole weekend and sign up for different events.
Great, thanks, Krista. Let's see. Is the Mexico food event also in English? So the 2 sessions I mentioned, the eco-gastronomy of Mexico and the agroecology revolution with the Cubans, our plan was to have both of those in Spanish. As far as if those are also going to be offered in English, I'm not sure if Krista or
we're working on how we can incorporate some simultaneous translation, so stay tuned for updates about that.
Thanks, Krista. Yes, that is a work in progress.
The city of Denver is looking to help us with that, so we're figuring that out. It is our goal.
Gwen wants to know, when will the waitlist delegate spots be released?
Hi, this is Leah. So like Krista and Lauren mentioned, we are at capacity, so there will not be any more tickets released to anybody. If delegates are able to let us know promptly if they will not be able to attend, we can refund their delegate registration and offer tickets to somebody else who is on the wait list, but as of now, there will not be any more tickets sent to registered delegates that have not paid.
Thanks, Leah. Yeah, certainly the delegate slots being first come, first serve filled up pretty quickly, which we're excited about, but we understand there are lots of people that still want to be involved, and we'll keep you posted on that. Let's see. Are there opportunities, Scott Lewis wants to know, are there opportunities for pop-up events? And will there be a message board for posting information or a digital poster board on a Facebook page? Scott, I'm not sure, when you say message board, do you mean for like meeting up with people like there was at the US booth at Terra Madre, or do you have other thoughts on that? And with regard to the pop-up events, maybe Krista can answer that.
Hi, Scott. I think what may make sense, just so I'm completely clear about what you mean by the pop-up events, is if you would like to even send me an email offline and understand. But the plan is at Denver Union Station, just to clarify a little bit, and maybe this will answer, there will be a welcome center, and our hope is that that is a place where people can come to get information and connect and have some sort of way to communicate with each other in that sense.
Thanks, Krista. Daisy from the Christensen Fund wants to know, can this recorded conversation also be sent out in addition to the slides on the screen? Not all information discussed is listed on the slides, and it would be helpful for us to send it out as well. Yes, we can certainly, so this session's being recorded right now, and we're gonna share a link to the YouTube video of the recording, which will include all of the audio as well as the slides, and then that can easily be shared with other folks who were not able to join this call. So thanks, Daisy. Let's see, the next question. Okay, we already answered this question, but about the Inside Scoop page, we're going to be sending out an email with the password after this call. So it has not, we're going to send it out again, so not to worry. The slide presentation we can make available just as a PowerPoint, but it will be available as well as part of the YouTube video recording for this call. Stephanie wants to know, when will we get our volunteer assignments?
Hi, Stephanie. That's a great question. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of different moving parts that make up Slow Food Nations, and we're working on right now pulling together all the different needs that are required. And I expect that we'll have communication starting to go out about the different volunteer opportunities for people to sign up for in early June.
Thanks, Krista. Barry wants to know where the link is for the hotels. Can he receive it through another means? And yes, the link to the hotels is also going to be on the Inside Scoop delegate page. So keep an eye out for the email we send after this call with the link and the password. May from Hawaii, only delegates can attend the Delegate Summit because it's full, correct? Yes, so if you have not yet received a link to pay for your slot, it probably means that we were unable to move you off the wait list. But we will keep you posted in case additional slots open up. But right now, yes, the Friday Delegate Summit is at capacity because we have had 500 delegates register. Tracy wants to know who that email is coming from. I'm assuming that you're referring to the Inside Scoop delegate email, and that is coming from the SFN delegates email address. So keep an eye out for that. Kristen wants to know. Oh, Kristen, do you want to answer that?
No, I can take Kristen's question.
Oh,
Sorry,
great. Okay, sure. So Kristen wants to know, just to clarify, the 2 free tickets that we will receive and will indicate on the Google form are to be used for the Colorado-made block party on Friday, and then one can be used Saturday or Sunday for a workshop or discussion. Is that correct?
So thanks, Kristen. Just to clarify a little bit, there are 2 free tickets that can be used for different things throughout the weekend. One can be used to choose a block party, not just the Colorado-made block party, but there will be 3 other block parties in addition to that will be listed, that will be ticketed on the site. One is a burgers, beer, and bluegrass block party that will feature discussions around meat. So there'll be a grass-fed beef burger, there will be a blended burger, and there will be a veggie burger, and along with summer sides and bluegrass music and local beer. Another block party will be, we're working on the name here, but it will be a celebration of ancient grains, and it will feature food and beverages and other exciting pieces that tell the story and allow us to engage in the story about grain. And then the other block party that is already ticketed is the Big Bad Breakfast block party, which will feature James Beard award-winning chef John Currents from Oxford, Mississippi, who will share kind of the enjoyment of the Southern breakfast. And an exciting addition to that is Tabasco is one of our sponsors, and that they will also be hosting a mash tasting, which is a really unique opportunity that doesn't happen very often, to understand the process of creating Tabasco, the sauce, which takes about 3 years. So participants will be able to taste the mash and then taste the final product and see the differences in that. So the one, you can choose one ticket to any of those block parties, and then for the other free or complimentary ticket, that can be used at any workshop or roundtable through Saturday or Sunday. So you can select.
Thanks, Krista. Scott wants to know how late events are going on Sunday.
Hi, Scott. The main marketplace and the free and open events at the festival end at 4 on Sunday. But as things are popping up, I expect that there will also be some dinners and some after parties that are going to be hosted here after that. So there will be things that will take us into the evening. Also on Sunday evening at 5 o'clock, there is a dinner that will be posted. That will be a family meal dinner for around 100-ish, and it will take the concept of the restaurant family meal and also the conversation about gathering around the table that is so important to slow food. In addition, that meal will also feature food waste from the festival, so it will use things that have been stored throughout the weekend that would have otherwise gone to waste, and it will be a family style dinner that will feature all those different dishes prepared by a group of chefs.
Great, thanks, Krista. May wants to know, what is the price range of the events?
Hi, May. The price range is, we have a lot of free events, so we have a number of different things that will be no cost. And then we'll have a series of some talks that will be ticketed between $15 to $20. And then other events go all the way up to some dinners that will be above 100. So it's really a wide range, and we've tried to have a balance that allows people to participate at all different levels.
Great. Scott wants to know.
Sorry, Lauren, can I just add to that? And I'll add to that for everyone that one of the ways to filter on the website is by price. So when you're out and you're looking at how and where you would like to spend your weekend, you can use that as a guide.
Great, thank you. Scott wants to know, is the reception for all 500 delegates?
There's limited capacity for the reception and the Big Eat that are both being sponsored and hosted by Visit Denver and Eat Denver. And so the 250 capacity applies to both of those. And there will be other things that will take place on Thursday that we'll be sharing out for people to engage in.
Joe, hi Joe, wants to know how delegates can confirm whether or not they have already paid. And Leah's just unmuting herself here.
Can you hear me? Okay, sorry, my computer's moving a little bit slowly. If you're not sure if you have paid, if you email that sfndelegates@slowfoodusa.org email address, they can check for you and let you know. You should have also received a receipt from your payment that can help you figure that out, but Joe, you have paid.
Thanks, Leah. Great. Tracy wants to know, are there more sessions being added to the event options?
Hi, Tracy. Yes, lots. Be on the lookout, especially through the end of May. As I mentioned, we're doing our second wave of our ticketing launch, and there will be a number of things that are added to workshops, to block parties, to roundtables, dinners, free talks. So definitely keep an eye on the website and pay attention to social media messaging, and emails will come out as well.
Great, thanks, Krista. Charity would like us to please include, if we're creating a Turtle Island Indigenous programming filter on the website, to please include any food justice programming that also has Turtle Island delegates as participants. Charity, it'd be great if you could email me that, just so I have that in email rather than just on the call, and I'll make sure to make a note as we work on creating that additional filter.
And just to let everybody know, there's also a food justice filter on the events page. It's called Justice is Served. So in the same way that there will be a Turtle Island Indigenous filter to filter events by that category, there is one for food justice.
Thanks, Leah. Someone is making the suggestion, maybe you can have a big screen above that translates into English like subtitles. I assume that MJ, you were talking about the 2 Spanish sessions at the Delegate Summit, and we're definitely looking into the possibility of translation, but have not figured out those details. So thank you for that suggestion. Appreciate that. Tracy wants to know if we're still accepting applications for exhibitors.
Yes, absolutely. We still are. Please apply.
Oh, Leah, you cut out.
Oh, I can take it. Leah said, yes, we still have a few places left in the marketplace for exhibitors. So you can find information on the website and the exhibitors link or the marketplace link.
Great, thanks. Meg wants to know if there are going to be any slow beer events or workshops.
Hi, Meg. Well, so we've been working closely with Slow Food Mexico about this, and they're working on a collaboration with a local brewer who will also be in Mexico at the end of this month, judging a slow beer competition there. So our hope is to kind of be able to unveil the first slow beer brew at Slow Food Nations, or the first in the US at Slow Food Nations from Mexico. And then it's been a slow process, as Lisa can attest to, but we are excited to host that one, and then we will see what may unfold here over the next couple of months.
Thanks, Krista. Scott, you sent a message to follow up on the delegate communication for some kind of message board. And so I think that using the SFN 2017 delegates Facebook group is a great way to communicate with each other as well as during the weekend. I know people have been using that Facebook group to ask about if people want to share accommodation or to share their bios and their stories. So I would encourage everyone to please keep using that Facebook group to actually communicate during the weekend. Great. So Gwen wants to know the delegate slots.
I'm sorry, Lauren. Lauren, I'm sorry. Can I interrupt? I wanted to clarify the question about slow beer and just make sure everyone is understanding it the same way. Slow beer, and how I'm defining it, is a very specific definition of a beer that is brewed using an arc of taste product. So that is what I was referring to with Mexico and the other components that may take place around slow beer. On top of that, I will add that, as many of you may know, Denver has or Colorado has a very strong craft brewing community, and there will certainly be a lot of opportunity to engage with small beer producers and beer related events in that sense as well. So I just wanted to clarify and differentiate to make sure everyone understood.
Thanks, Krista, for that clarification. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left for Q&A, so I'm just going to keep moving through these. Gwen wants to know if the delegate spots that were included with an exhibitor booth are still being held, because they have not submitted a name yet and want to make sure they still have that spot. I think that's a Leah question.
Oh, Leah's audio is not working, so I'll answer it. Yes, if people are registered as an exhibitor, those spots are being held.
Great. Few more follow-up things about Slow Beer. It sounds like there's a group between Scott Lewis and Lisa Frank and some other folks, Jennifer Breckner. So I encourage you all to get in touch with each other if you would like to talk more Slow Beer specifically during the weekend. Tracy wants to know if there will be labeling of food allergens and dietary needs to help everyone eat safely.
Hi, Tracy. Thank you for that. And I will make sure we connect with our event production and operations team to see how clearly we can indicate throughout the weekend.
Sienna wants to know, if I am a Colorado delegate, how can I participate in the Colorado Made Block Party as a producer?
Hi, if you could email, I'm trying to think of the best email to send that to. The info one, is that the best one? Yeah, SFN info at slowfoodusa.org. And we would love to connect with you about that. So that was SFN info at slowfoodusa.org.
Okay. Jennifer wants to know who is in charge of slow meat programming, because she has a wonderful, amazing Chicago butcher she'd love to recommend for a panel or demonstration.
Oh, hey, Jennifer, this is Krista. I'm wondering if that's Rob Levitt, because I just talked to, I don't know if you can just type in there if we're talking about the same person, but if so, I talked to Joel Smith about this, and Rob reached out. So yeah, thank you. So I need to circle back and figure out the best way. We have quite a number of butchery workshops, so I really want to find out the best way to highlight it. So thank you.
Great. Glad we could make that connection. Bob wants to know, do you know the date that the 250th delegate registered? If so, then we can all check our receipts and know whether we are going to the reception and the big eat on Thursday evening. I am trying to book airfare and I need to know when to arrive in Denver.
Hey, thank you for that question. I know this is a confusing process. It is on our end too, but it's not quite that straightforward because some people will be arriving then and some people won't. And so we do need to get confirmations. But we would be happy to follow up directly with you, Bob, so you can make your plans.
Thanks, Krista. Meg is saying that her receipt for her delegate payment actually came from SFN info at slowfoodusa.org. So you can all check SFN info or SFN delegates. We've been using both emails. Someone asked if they're likely to be arriving a few days early. Does Slow Food USA need any additional help?
Hi, thank you for that. I am sure we will, and the best way to stay connected about that is to sign up for the volunteer list, which you can do from the website, and that way we'll have you'll get all the communications about ways to get involved. And where that is wait a minute, where is it? Where'd the volunteer thing go? I'll tell you what, we'll send out the link afterwards so people can sign up for that.
Great.
There
were a few more comments here about Slow Beer. So please contact Lisa Frank. Her email address is lisa@slowfoodsacramento.com if you are working on Slow Beer things, and she can help coordinate everyone. If people are struggling with audio, it looks like if you reload the page, it should fix the issue. And you might have to reload the call in order to get audio back. Peter Morich says that the Google Doc is showing 250 delegates. Where are the other 250 delegates listed?
So not all delegates that have registered and paid have sent us their photo and bio, so not everybody is updated in the delegate directory. As we get all of that information, it will be updated. It's a live Google Doc, so if you keep checking it, it should have more people being added in the coming weeks. Thank you.
And to add to that, so the Google Doc that Peter and Leah are referring to is the delegate directory, where you can get people's email, their contact information, their description of what kind of activity they're doing in the community, which organization, so you can connect with fellow delegates ahead of time. Some of the delegates that are participating in the Friday Summit are also speakers, and we need to get their information to the directory as well, which is why you only see about 250 delegates in the directory right now.
In addition, if you are not comfortable having your information on the delegate directory and the link to that website, it's not mandatory. So some people may not wish to have their name and email address and the rest of their information that's included in that online. So it might not be up for that reason as well.
Thanks, Leah. Peter C. would also like to know if he's in the first 250 delegate group to facilitate trip planning. Peter, if you email us at SFN delegates, we can confirm whether you are in the first 250 to participate in the delegate reception. So please email us directly. And then thank you.
And I'm just going to address that too, Lauren. I'm sure more people have that question, so we will work to get something out as quickly as we can. We're also working. We're also working. We're also working with our partners at Eat Denver to facilitate that process. So there's a little back and forth there. Thanks.
Thanks, Krista. And Stephanie has shared the slowfoodnations.org/volunteers link, and that is the link to sign up if you would like to be a volunteer, especially if you arrive a couple days early and would like to help out. So we have about 8 more minutes in case anyone else has questions. Otherwise, we can wrap it up. Hopefully this was productive for everyone and we answered a lot of your questions.
This is Leah. I just wanted to thank everybody for their patience and understanding as we try and figure out all these details about the summit and the reception and the Big Eat. We're definitely doing our best, and all of that information will get sent to you as soon as we are ready, and everyone will receive the information with the inside scoop page and password if they have paid. So that will also indicate to you that you have paid. I forget who asked that question earlier because they weren't sure. So if you receive that email post this call, you will know that you are an official delegate.
Thanks, Leah.
Hi, everyone. This is Krista. I just also wanted to thank everyone for sharing all of your questions and comments. And there is a lot of buzz going on around the nation and here locally about Slow Food Nations. It's going to be really exciting and inspiring. And one of the things that would be fantastic that if all of you would do, and you'll be getting some communications from our team, is to share out about Slow Food Nations through your networks and get other people excited to be here in Denver in July. We'll see you in July. Thanks everybody.
Everyone. Have a great day.